Hello and welcome to this edition of S101's Visual Radio for the Newsfirst team of Chalani Ratnaviro. We start off with your local news. The Ministry of Public Administration, Provincial Councils and Local Government has announced that a discussion will be held next week to decide the next steps regarding the nominations for the Provincial Council elections. Minister Professor Chandana Ratna stated that the discussion, chaired by Leader of the House Minister Bimal Ratnayaka, is expected to involve leaders of political parties represented in the Parliament. He further mentioned that the decisions made during this discussion will form the basis for reaching a final agreement on the nominations for the upcoming Provincial Council elections. Nominations for the elections were accepted in March 2023. Although the National Election Commission had prepared to hold the elections, they were postponed due to the lack of financial allocations from the Treasury. In recent times, various factions, including political parties, have called for the annulment of the submitted nominations. In more local news, the number of people affected by the adverse weather has risen to 441,590. The Disaster Management Centre stated that 229 divisional secretariat divisions in 24 districts have been affected by the adverse weather conditions. 13 fatalities have been reported as a result of the adverse weather conditions. 22 people have been reported injured and 1 missing. According to the Disaster Management Centre, 38,616 people have been directed to 347 relief camps. It added that relief efforts for the affected are ongoing. Moving on to more local news, Lanka Limited has announced that tenders to select suppliers for importing will be called from today. Its chairman, Dr. Samita Pereira, stated that importers can import stock of rice for 7 days starting today. 70,000 metric tons of rice is planned to be imported in a number of phases. Accordingly, the imported rice is expected to be supplied to the market before the festive season. Dr. Samita Pereira also stated steps have been taken to supply the stock of rice through Lanka stores, supermarkets and wholesalers.
International news.
In international news, Australia will ban children under 16 from using social media after its parliament approved the world's strictest laws. The ban, which will not take effect for at least 12 months, could see tech companies fined up to 50 million Australian dollars if they don't comply. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says the legislation is needed to protect young people from the harms of social media, something many parent groups have echoed.
Sports news.
In sports, Lando Norris has suggested Max Verstappen consider a career in comedy after the quadruple world champion claimed he would have also won this season's Formula One title if driving a McLaren or a Ferrari instead of a Red Bull. Verstappen told Dutch reporters after clinching his fourth successive crown in Las Vegas last Saturday that he would have wrapped it up a lot sooner in Norris's McLaren. He said it would have been pretty much the same in a Ferrari, but the Mercedes car would have been trickier. That's a wrap of this edition of S101's Visual Radio. Thank you for watching.